chilies, baby back ribs. Ow!
Let's start with an intro.
Cool. Hi. Should I look at you or should I look at the camera?
Probably the camera.
Okay, so don't look at me.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Hi, my name is Kelly, and I just ran a marathon, the Philly Marathon, on November 23rd, 2025. It was my first marathon ever. This is not easy. This is not easy. Mile 23. Not a spectator to be seen. This is where we dig. This is where I dig. My feet are killing me. So this story starts a really long time ago. It starts in 2016, summer of 2016. I was always an athletic kid. I mean, I played a lot of sports. I played when I was younger. I danced and I did gymnastics and then went to basketball and softball. And I wasn't the best on the team, but I was enough to be a starter or like involved in the team play. I was trying out for basketball that following winter in 2016/17 of that school year. And my sister, who was on the cross-country team, who was also a swimmer, was trying to convince me to join the cross-country team, long distance. I hated running. In basketball, in softball, and any other sport that I did prior to that, I was the worst runner. She told me to go to what they call captain's practice. I went to this practice and I was the slowest person there. It was quite embarrassing, humiliating. I told Taylor after that practice I would never go to a practice ever again. I hated running, never.
Are you ready? Let's go, Philly. Have a great race. Runners. Thank you, Dave Wilson, for blowing that start horn for our final corral. Right on time at 7:40 local time here this morning. Can't wait to see all of you.
I would say 2 weeks later, I traveled to Idaho with my grandparents. And at this point, there was no captain's practices. It was a regular practice, and I got a FaceTime call from Taylor and my friend at the time saying, Kelly, join the team, you've got to join the team, whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not going. I hated it. Why would I do something like that to myself and to my body? And I'm not humiliating myself again. Sure enough, they convinced me to go to one more practice. And after that practice, it was, I don't know what happened, but something clicked with my teammates that I continued to run cross country throughout all 4 years of high school. Simultaneously with running, my sister and I would carry around our GoPro camera to practices, to meets, to pasta parties, and that I guess is what allowed me to bond more with my teammates and distract me, I guess, from the running. Ironically, I ran my first marathon with one of them, Kate Cantini. Emily also ran the half marathon as well that day before, but something happened at that practice where I ran all 4 years of high school, hated the running, but I realized that we all did. We all hated the running. My senior year of high school, my dad's friend approached my dad and I randomly, I don't know how it came up, about training. I don't even think you know this, about training for a marathon. We trained for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Basically during February of 2020, my senior year, I had so much going on in my life. It was the first time I ever really experienced anxiety before, where I was being pulled in like 16 million different directions, where I felt like everything was important and the end of the world. And I approached my guidance counselor and I said, this is why I'm stressed. And I had a list in my notes app of everything that was going on within that month and everything that was due pretty much by March 1st. She said, cut one thing out. That's all you have to do, just cut one thing out. And I cut out training for the marathon. And it was very hard for me to do that because at the time too, I had never, run 10 miles for the first time ever. So I was so excited that my body was able to do that. It was upsetting, but it definitely helped. And March 1st too, I vividly remember March 1st, everything was done. And then literally 12 days later, COVID shut down the world. My senior year then after that was when I thought it was supposed to be like, oh my gosh, senior year is gonna be so much easy now, like so much easier. I didn't have that.
We are the class of 2020, the class that everyone's talking about. You know, they say life is like a heartbeat. It must have its ups and its downs, because if it were to go straight, there would be no life.
Let's get into what happened with college, how running-wise, how did that go?
Yeah, so I didn't run at all. I could like count on my one hand how many times I ran throughout New York City. It's officially my first night in college, so wish me luck on my first day, like sleeping, my first night sleeping, and I'll see you guys when I see you. I don't really know why I'm making these or where these are going to, but I will see you guys later.
What were you doing those 4 years?
What was I doing? What do you mean?
In college, if you weren't, why'd you stop running?
Just like being complacent, I guess. Just like drinking, partying, eating what I wanted, when I wanted. I think for the first time, even when I went to Australia and I studied abroad for the first time, I was legally drinking for the first time. Yeah, it wasn't necessarily an awareness of what I was doing, it was a lack of an awareness, which led to like complacency and just like, yeah. When I studied abroad, I was kind of on this high of living, you know, so far away from home, meeting people from all around the world. When I got back, I turned 21, so I was kind of still on this high, met really cool people, because I was on this such high that I kind of crashed and burned, unfortunately. I definitely hit rock bottom on 2020, in September, I would say, of 2023. Hello. The past couple of days have been really hard, and and I kind of started therapy in September, and then, you know, worked through a lot. It definitely took a lot of intentionality to scoop myself out through that. Being honest with myself on like what I needed and what I wanted even. Like I had to honestly relearn what I wanted for myself, I think. I was so worried for a really long time about, even subconsciously, what other people thought about me. People always told me I was this like fun, light energy, and you know, so out there, and I didn't care what people thought, when it was actually quite the opposite. I was just hiding it really well, I guess. And I had to relearn, you know, like, what do I want? What do I want out of this life? I only have, you know, 80 years on average, right? Or 80, 90 years on average, and what do I want out of this life? I want joy, I want happiness, so how do I get that? And that was a relearning. And then December of 2023, I made it a point to myself to continue this journey and continue this process. And like I said, I was very intentional about who I was surrounding myself around and allowing people in, letting people in. Yeah. The process of learning about myself and loving myself continued in 2024. So then I graduated college. My dad approached me about running. My dad didn't approach me. My dad was running a half marathon that following October of 2024. And I asked him if I could join him, pretty much. Yeah, it just like came up pretty casually that my dad was running his third half marathon. He was excited or whatever. And I turned to him and I said, Dad, what if I ran it? And he looked at me and said, like, you know where to sign up. I'm not gonna pressure you into doing anything, but you know where to sign up. And I would say 1 or 2 days after that, I signed up without questioning it, because I felt like if I thought about it too long, I wouldn't do it, or I would back out. And I figured if I signed up, I would have no choice. So I signed up, and I trained. I
don't know how running TikTokers do it, and they make themselves look so good when they're running. Come on, let's go! Let's go!
I ran 3-milers, then I went up to 5, then 7, and 8, 9, and then I ran my 10-miler, and at my desk in my sunroom, I came back after my run, and I literally could not believe it, because back in 2020, I'd run 10 miles before, but I was at that point again, and I knew that I was gonna like surpass it, and I felt also specifically on that run like I could do 3 more. Holy crap. I just did 10 miles in sub 2 hours. And I also just uttered that sentence. What? And I'm sitting here talking. That is insane. For context, I couldn't run a mile about 3 months ago without dying. Also for context, that's like an 11.6 per mile, like an 11 minute and 40 seconds on average per mile, which is absolutely and utterly bonkers to me because I usually average like 13 minutes a mile. What is going on? I didn't wear my Apple Watch, and I think that's why, because I wasn't worried about the time. Oh my God. It was cool to run that first one. I literally put all I could into that first half marathon. It was hard as crap. It was a hot day. Put everything I could into that half marathon, literally to the point of puking, and then had a surf side after that and puked up the surf side.
Go.
Let's do it. Mile 3. Let's get it!
Yeah, Waddleton! You got it.
Let's go, Kel! Woo, woo, woo! Let's go, Kelly!
I'm doing it!
Let's go! Let's go!
You got this.
Doing it!
You got
You
this.
can do it! You can do it! You can do it!
Go, Kel.
You can do it! Let's go, Bill! Billy Boo! Let's go! Billy Boo! Oh my God! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!
Congratulations, congratulations.
He's throwing up all over.
Yeah, you're a little slower.
Oh, Kelly, you should go for like a massage tomorrow.
Maybe you could pay for it.
I would say not very long after that, told my dad that I wanted to run another one. And actually convinced him to run another one because he didn't want to. And that was going to be his last dance. At the time as well, which I feel like is very important, I feel like this is an important aspect to this story, is that I met my lovely, lovely boyfriend in September of 2024, who was ironically also training for a full marathon. And so it was really cool to like bond with him over that, especially because both of us didn't really consider ourselves runners, but we're training for these things. And so then after I ran that first half marathon, I went and saw him at his marathon in Philly.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Love you too.
Keep going. Woo! Let's go, Joey! Finish strong, Joey! Finish strong, kid!
And then we both signed up for a half marathon in that following April of 2025 together.
Welcome back to the vlog. Today we're going on 10 miles. And
I wasn't planning on doing 10 miles. I was planning on doing like 6, but here we are, you know. If not now, when? You know?
It's facts.
If not now, when? Life is about taking risks.
Super easy 10.
And doing the unthinkable. And where does that start? That starts here. When I ran the Jersey City half marathon, I PR'd by 14 minutes. I felt like I was in a lot better of a headspace. Also, what's important to note is I would say a month before that, my left heel started really bothering me and I got plantar fasciitis. Forgot about that. I'm so upset. I was supposed to go on a run today, like 3 miles, and I had to 3.5, and I stopped at 2.42 because my foot started hurting really bad, and really like my heel, and then it like shoots up to like the outside of my foot. I'm not gonna fake the funk here and lie and say that I'm not nervous or scared for my half marathon in 5 days, because I am. But I'm still going to do it. I'm going to do it scared. I'm going to do it nervous. I'm still going to do it. It is Thursday and I'm supposed to run my half marathon on Sunday. I would say about a month ago, I hurt my foot. And it was the day after I ran 10 miles. I went to a St. Patrick's Day parade and I was on my feet all day. The next day, I developed plantar fasciitis. And I couldn't walk for like 5 days after that. And then I started like gradually running, but it still would hurt when I ran. And I feel like it's not smart for me to run 13 miles. And ever since I've gradually started getting back to running, I haven't touched nearly even 10 miles. I'm just in this debacle because I was originally gonna drop out of the race and defer it to next year, but I had to pay a $25 fee, and then it was the same day I got my job offer, so I was completely distracted. And then I missed the deadline, which was April 1st. It's just like annoying because I spent money on the race, and I also like half trained for the race, and I feel like I could do it, and it's like my mind can do it, but it's just like my body just can't, and it's really upsetting. But it only gives me reason to run another one in October or whatever. Because before I'm 26, I plan on running 26.2 miles. So I feel like everything around me is telling me no, but so quietly God is telling me yes. I run the race in 2 days and I'm not where I want to be at all in my training. Today was my last run before my race on Sunday, and it was pouring rain out, and I couldn't get out to the run until like 7 p.m., so it was overcast, starting to get dark out. Didn't stop me. Put on a highlighter vest and a hat and was out there running. At the expo today, when I was picking up my bib, I turned to my boyfriend and I said, if my bib number is even, I will run the race. If it is odd, I will not. My number was 4029. An odd number. But God is still telling me, very quietly, to run the race. And I gotta listen to it.
Stop coming.
Yo, 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 yo.
Go, Kelly! Go, Kelly! Let's go, Kek! Let's go! Come on, Kek! You got it! You got it! You're there, baby girl! Let's go! Let's go!
When did you first decide you wanted to go for a full marathon, though? And what age did you want to do that?
I think it was always in the back of my head. I mean, when I trained for the marathon in senior year of high school, every year when the New York City Marathon would happen, I would always see TikToks and videos and stuff like that. And in the back of my brain, I would always tell myself, maybe one day. But I never really knew how, or like, I always kind of thought it would be a flick of a switch, I guess. And I never really thought about what it would take to get there. I did tell my dad after I ran the second half marathon that before I'm 26, I want to run 26.2. And I would say a week after that, I signed up for the Philly Marathon.
At 23.
At 23, because I figured I have run 2 half marathons now. This is the trajectory. The trajectory of this would be to run a full marathon. I'm in the best shape of my life running-wise. Why would I stop? Why can't I run just 3 marathons by the time I'm 26? Why do I only have to run 1? This is a very important moment in history. I'm about to sign up for my first marathon. The Philly Marathon.
Non-refundable.
I know, and I didn't protect my experience. And it's on November 23rd, 2025, which is exactly 6 months from 2 days ago. 3 days ago.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Submit order. It says you're banned.
I did it. Holy
Race
crap.
day that Sunday.
Yeah.
So you're running the Philadelphia Marathon, pending. How's you doing business? Very good, Cal.
I know.
So excited for you.
This is so crazy.
Excited to see you train. Very good.
Wait, I'm scared.
It's gonna be fun. You have plenty of time. How much time do you have for it?
6 months.
6 months?
I learned to have a lot of trust with myself when I started running, because when I trained for my first half marathon, when I signed up for my first half marathon, I didn't know I could run a half marathon. When I signed up for the full marathon, I didn't know that I could, run a full marathon, but I signed up anyway. So I started training. I realized that one step at a time is all that I could do, and that's all that I was in control of. So ironically, me and Joey made a Google Sheets, which I don't think we followed to the T, but knowing what it would take or seeing visually what it would take. Yeah, just going out every Saturday or Sunday, or even perhaps like, because of my work schedule, I would go out on like a Thursday and run 14 miles and then run 15 miles and then 16 and 17 and 18 and then 19 and then 20.
That was the peak.
Yes, the peak of the training was 20 miles. I would also make different playlists in different orders. Like I would change the songs on my playlist, and then as the runs got longer, I would listen to podcasts, and I would break up my runs into hours. And then if it was a shorter run, I would mess around. I would either listen to my playlist top to bottom, or I would listen to it in shuffle, just to change it up and, figure out ways to stay entertained.
Run fast for your mother, run fast for your father, run for your children, for your sisters and brothers. Leave all your love and your longing behind. You can't carry it with you if you want to survive. The dark days are over, the dark days are done. Can I hear those answers? We are late
Okay, so I want to tell you about my 18-mile run. I ran 19 yesterday. Okay, so about my 19-mile run, it was low-key awful. Absolutely awful. At mile 15, I hit a massive wall. And for some weird reason, I've never had this happen before, but my stomach was tearing into shreds. Like, it was bad. I'm now soaking my feet. 2 weeks from yesterday, I'll run 20, and then 2 weeks after that is marathon day. So I got one more long run, and then is the day. Today, actually, Laura ran her marathon in Washington, D.C., and she kind of came off an injury a little bit, and it's helpful to know that she finished it. So, shout out, Laura. You have been also an inspiration as we train together, and we do this together, as well as Joey, of course.
Why don't we go into marathon day? Let's talk about that.
Yeah, me, Joey, and my parents went down on Saturday, the day before, and we went to the expo. Did we buy anything? We picked up our bibs. We looked at shirts. And
Got a lot of pasta going.
We did. We went to dinner. We got pasta. I got rigatoni vodka. Joey got...
You got crab and linguine.
No, yum. So yeah, then we went to bed nice and early. I would say at 9, and then I couldn't go to bed. I was actually got the worst sleep of my life.
I had a lot of wacky dreams last night.
And then we woke up around 5:30, 5 o'clock.
5:20, I believe.
5:20.
Yeah.
We Ubered to the start line. We were afraid that all of the roads were going to be blocked off. I think they closed off at 6:30, so we went there nice and early. And the start line was pretty amped up. Everyone was excited. Ironically, my corral was all the way in the back, so I actually started in front of the Rocky Steps. I should be wearing my medal. That'd be epic.
Want me to grab it? Very nice. Look at that.
So as they're going corral by corral, I get to the restrooms, and there's 2 people online, and I was like, yo, if I'm gonna go to the bathroom at any point, I'm gonna do it now, and I'm gonna do it really freaking quick. I have 20 minutes, because if you think about it, it was every 5, and there was still 4 corrals in front of me, so I was like, okay, I have a second. During the marathon, every line was you'd be killing your time by 15 minutes. Although I did pack toilet paper in a Ziploc bag to put in my vest, just in case I had to pee in a bush. Well, we could also get into after the marathon when I peed brown because I didn't pee all day, so.
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that. And they said, Group H, go!
Thank you, Dave Wilson, for blowing that start horn for our final corral. Right on time at 7:40 local time here this morning. Can't wait to see
The vibes of the first couple of miles were good. I didn't really know what to expect at all because when I saw Joey last year at the Philly Marathon, I saw him at mile 8, and then I realized around mile, I'm gonna say even 4. This is awful. Hi. Where were we?
Mile 8.
I'm at mile 8. I'm really nauseous at mile 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I started getting really nauseous, and that's all I could start thinking about. But it was very nice to throughout the 26 miles, kind of knowing exactly where my family was going to be. So I was just thinking about that. At mile 8, knowing I was going to see them at 12, and then 15, and then at the end. And then I even saw Sophia at mile 20. I think the marathon went a lot different than I thought it was going to be. And I think it wasn't a full representation of my training and the work and stuff that I put in. However, I've come to terms with that, and I'm okay with that.
That's no accident. That's no accident. Now I'm finishing on Kelly Drive. Well, up here, we're at 21 and a half. It's all up here. Let's do it.
If every marathon was a good marathon, or if every run was a good run, the good runs wouldn't be good. So, looks like I gotta run another run.
Yes!
Thank you.
Specifically for
And who are you doing it for?
Who am I doing it for? I'm running for a lot of people. And ironically, all of those people have the same name. I'm running for my current self, I'm running for my future self, I'm running for the 2023 Kelly, I'm running for the 2024 Kelly, I'm running for the high school Kelly that literally was the slowest on the team. Yeah, I'm running for her. I'm running for even the 2012 version of Kelly who didn't make the AAU team and all my friends did. I'm running for the Kelly on the basketball team who was brutal at suicides and was always the slowest. I'm running for her. One last thing, if you feel like in the back of your brain, in the back of your mind, that you want to run a marathon or you feel like you can, that thought is in the back of your brain on purpose. It's not there on accident. Chase it and embrace it. Chase it and embrace it.